Hey everyone, how's it going? Kevin here with Push to Talk, and I am here a day late on doing my recap and review of AEW Rampage from the 24th. It is tough to shoot a video when that thing ends at midnight. We had a 2-hour episode this week. Typically, it's only going to be 1 hour, but I think I may format it like this going forward, shooting the recap and review on the following Saturday. But we'll see how things go. Typically, Friday nights are when I reach a point of pure exhaustion, but alas, I powered through this episode of Rampage this week, and what an episode it was. I thought it was pretty good. Obviously, it doesn't really, match up totally 100% to what we saw with this week's episode of Dynamite, but that's going to be pretty hard to do for anybody. But anyway, let's get into it. Rampage, coming from Arthur Ashe Stadium again in New York. I guess they shoot Rampage after they shoot the episode of Dynamite. I'm not sure what order they do it in, but it was the same night. This is a taped recording, but I enjoyed it. So I was happy to see, first off, we started off with Will Powerhouse Hobbs versus CM Punk. And man, again, I know I mentioned this on the Dynamite recap, I think it was, but it's so awesome to see Hobbs on AEW, and he in this match really shined. I'm going to put that out there first and foremost. I thought Will Hobbs did a great job here. I think this is one of the best matches he's had on AEW since his debut. So right out of the gate on this one, we have Punk attacking the leg of Powerhouse Hobbs, to try and take away that vertical base and take away some of his strength, because obviously a big guy like that is all of his power is going to come from his lower body. Taz made a funny comment here. It says, good luck getting through those quads, which makes about sense. I think Powerhouse's quads are about the same thickness as my chest. This dude is huge. So right away, Hobbs takes over the offense with a distraction from Hook. Hobbs getting great heat here. People are booing him. I think people are just so behind CM Punk too, but still, I thought Hobbs did a great job of just manhandling Punk here. He is absolutely ragdolling him at the beginning of this match, and people are not stoked on Hobbs. They are booing the crap out of him, which is good stuff. At some point, we got Punk to fight back. And he hits a nice elbow off the top here. A really nice, slow, methodical, and thought-out build to this elbow off the top, I think. CM Punk being so excellent with his facial expressions and his interactions with both the crowd and the audience at home. He gave, a knowing look to the top rope. I love the way he climbed here. Facial expressions were great, and he hit a nice, clean elbow off the top, so I liked that a lot. At some point, we also had Punk. Let's see, my notes are out of order. Here we go. Once he hits that elbow, he signals for that GTS, but that GTS is blocked. Hobbs hits a big slam once he blocks that. I think it was kind of a spine buster that he just nailed him with, and he takes back control here. Eventually, they make their way to the top rope in the corner, and Hobbs has Punk up like he's going to do a avalanche suplex or something along those lines. Punk reverses here and hits a Rana off the top, and Hobbs just comes crashing down on the top of his head. It looked pretty painful. Yikes is what I wrote in my notes. It looked kind of sketch, but Hobbs took it like a boss. We get some more back and forth here until Hook is up on the apron again, trying to distract the referee. But instead, CM Punk outsmarts Hobbs and Hook here. He ducks at the last minute when Hobbs is rushing him. Hobbs knocks Hook off the apron. With that distraction, CM Punk is able to get Hobbs into the GTS, puts him to sleep for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Really solid match here. I thought this was a great overall match. I think Hobbs looked fantastic here. Punk looked fantastic here. It played into both of the wrestlers' strengths perfectly. I loved this. I think for me it was the best match of the night. But we'll get into the rest of them here. Next thing we have here is a little nice little promo package with Nyla, Thunder Rosa, and Jade Cargill. Good stuff here, just building up this feud a little bit more. Excited to see what comes out of this. The third segment here is the match between the Super Clique, that's the Young Bucks and Adam Cole, versus Jurassic Express and Christian Cage. Again, I thought this was excellent too. There was a lot of really great comedy here as well. It's really good to see Adam Cole with the Young Bucks. I think some of the comedy moments that they pulled off in this match were, really clever and some of the wittiest we've seen on TV in a while. First out, we have the Young Bucks, and right away after that, we have Adam Cole to a huge reaction. I love seeing Adam Cole in AEW. It is a match made in heaven. I think it was meant to be. The dude just fits right in so perfectly, and you really see it with his entrance here. Cole's so awesome, and I laugh every time that I see him in a good way. He's just so engaging that it always makes me chuckle, especially in his entrance and how he nails everything and how funny and chicken shit he can be in the ring, and also really good and back it up too. So Adam Cole, he's amazing. So stoked that he's in AEW. His entrance here too, which I thought was pretty funny, is he finally has the timing down of his new music. I think the first couple of times he came out, he didn't quite hit the boom on time and cue with the song. He nailed it this time, very reminiscent of the Undisputed Era music back in NXT. Thought this was fantastic. Follows up the boom with the Adam Cole baby, and people are going nuts. I've been in buildings, takeovers, when he does that Adam Cole baby, and it's deafening, and it certainly seemed like it was deafening here. Good stuff. We got the bell rings, and we have Christian Cage is in first with Matt Jackson. Christian's showing some great agility and stamina here, just kind of right off the bat. We have Adam Cole playing a great chicken shit heel here as well. He keeps teasing with Jungle Boy like he's going to wrestle him, but he tags right back out, doing excellent work here, building to that moment, because I don't know about all of you, but that's the match I want to see in AEW, is Adam Cole versus Jungle Boy. And I thought it was really smart to tease it here in the way that they did. One of my favorite moments in this entire match wasn't necessarily like a big crazy spot or anything here, but it was some really great comedy. We had Adam Cole in the ring with Jungle Boy. Finally, he has Jungle Boy locked into, I think it was kind of like a camel clutch that he had him in. And then the Young Bucks jump in. They start bouncing off the rope back and forth. They must have gone 5 or 6 times back and forth, kind of flanking Adam Cole and Jungle Boy. On the last bounce, they kind of look down and they realize, oh, Adam Cole has Jungle Boy in the camel clutch here. They lean in. Each one gives Adam Cole a kiss on the side of the cheek, to a nice big pop from the crowd. I love that. I want that shirt now. I'm not going to lie. I want that Super Click shirt. I think it's pretty dope. The one with the deer kissing the skull. It's pretty good stuff here. I think they were wearing it last night. Of course they were. These guys are marketing geniuses. Let's see here. We had a great moment here with Luchasaurus when he tagged in and dude just clears house. I love watching Luchasaurus clear house. It reminds me a lot of how Kane used to do it back in the day, but I like Dinosaur Kane a lot more than I like normal Kane. At one point, I had an Adam Cole and I think it was Matt Jackson in kind of like a double choke slam, like he was going to lift them both up and slam them. But instead what he did is he kind of lift Adam Cole up, turned, and when he still had Matt Jackson in the choke slam position, like almost fully vertical, he choke slammed Adam Cole on top of Matt Jackson. I thought this was super cool, and I've never seen this before. We've seen this double choke slam kind of done to death. It's pretty classic, but we haven't seen something like this. I thought it was cool. I digged it a lot. Eventually, we have Christian set off the stage. They kind of battle up the ramp. He's set off the stage. He's kind of like eliminated from the match here at this point. We have Cole in the ring. He hits a Panama Sunrise on Luchasaurus, which I thought was crazy because Luchasaurus and Adam Cole have quite the size difference between the two of them. After that, we have the Bucks in. They hit a BTE trigger on Luchasaurus. We know where this is going. Cole hits that Shining Wizard with the knee pad down. The commentary said that Adam Cole hits the boom. when he hit this move. So I don't think that's what he was calling it in NXT. I think it was still the Shining Wizard. I'm not totally sure. But I thought that was interesting. If that's going to be the name moving forward, I'm down with it. It fits him well. Cole hits Luchasaurus for the pin, 1, 2, 3, and I thought that was a great match. The crowd was super into this one. I know it's a common theme when we say crowds are at AEW are hot, 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 and into like literally everything, but they were digging this one and absolutely going nuts. I love these AEW trios like this, especially these trio matches like this, especially when the Young Bucks are involved. I think they are the masters of these trio matches. You put them with just about anyone, and they're just going to make it awesome. All right, next up we have the Inner Circle versus the Men of the Year. As a match, though, this one, Inner Circle, that's Jericho and Jake Hager versus Men of the Year, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. I thought this was kind of a little bit of a forgettable match. It wasn't, it didn't blow my mind or anything, but it was good for what it needed to be, as we'll get to in the end. We have, let's see, Sky picking up a pin on Hager in this one after Lambert does that kind of classic reach in for the trip move. Haven't seen that in a while, actually. I thought that was cool, especially with Lambert kind of being that old school heel manager. I thought he did that really well. Then we have the MMA people. I don't know who they are. American Top Team, I think, is what they are. I don't know MMA. I don't know real sport. They come down, do the beatdown on Jericho and Hager. Whatever. I understand that they are trying to broaden the audience here, and they're trying to bring in some MMA fans, perhaps. I'm not an MMA fan, and I have never been a fan of sports in my professional wrestling or celebrity crossovers or anything like that. It doesn't do it for me, except for Dan Lambert, because he's just so damn good. But I didn't like the whole MMA invasion thing with the American Top Team. What I also thought was super, super weird, it was during the beatdown, we didn't see the rest of the Inner Circle come out to save Chris Jericho and Jake Hager, which was super weird because the very next match had Proud and Powerful in it. So were they just standing back there and not, coming out to help these guys out? Are they trying to help differentiate these, or make these guys appear a little different from the group, each member of the Inner Circle? I don't know. I thought that was a little weird. Anyway, into that Proud and Powerful and Lucha Bros versus Private Party, Butcher and the Blade. We had a 4-man tag here. I again, in my notes here, I have it's weird that they didn't come out. Proud and Powerful didn't come out to help the Inner Circle. Whatever, let's move on. The Proud and Powerful, when they came to the ring, they got a huge reaction from the crowd. Massive pop here. These guys are New York guys, so that makes sense. We had an awesome moment at the very beginning of the match. I think it was Santana and Phoenix were up on the opposing turnbuckles. We had the opposite team down on the floor. And then we had Ortiz and Pentagon, I think it was. They dove through the ropes while the other two guys did a moonsault off the top. Timing was perfect here. All 4 guys were in the air all at once. That was absolutely nuts. That was my favorite point in the match. It was a really crazy match, to say the least. It was definitely one of those, AEW 8-man tags where you don't really know who's legal, and there's a lot going on. I like this style of match. It's not my, ultimate favorite. I do find this stuff a little hard to follow as far as continuity and a story within a match goes. But at the same time, I get that that's not what these matches are all about. They're really about just showing the crazy spots and the boom, boom, boom and the athleticism and excitement. I get that. I think that is cool, and they do it extremely well, but it's not my absolute favorite. Let's see here. At one point, we had Matt Hardy outside trying to cut the ponytail of Ortiz, but Orange Cassidy comes out. Big reaction for Cassidy. We know where they're going with this, with the whole hair versus hair thing. Ultimately, we had. I'm trying to look through my notes here, and I didn't even write down who won. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I was super tired or that I just had that hard of a time telling what was going on with 8 people in the ring. But I'm pretty sure it was the baby faces that won this one. Sorry. Hardy backstage. He issues that hair versus hair match for Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans. Matt Hardy kind of volunteered one of his cronies here to go up against Orange Cassidy in that hair versus hair match. We'll see where this goes. I don't think Orange Cassidy's going to lose his hair, but because I think that's part of his gimmick, but we'll see. Thought that was funny. Next segment we have Sammy Guevara and Fuego out on stage. They're acting like they're going to do the sign thing. I thought timing was a little weird here because we just came back from a commercial break, and that's usually the gimmick because he does the sign thing during the commercial break, but that's okay. That's not the point here. The point was that we had Miro coming out, and he just absolutely obliterates both of these guys in true Miro fashion. He throws Fuego off the stage through a table. He puts Sammy in the game over. Next week, or maybe on Dynamite, Sammy's going to challenge for the title. Good stuff here. I like this. Great build, and I just like watching Miro kicking butt. Next up, we had a little Andrade promo on Pac here, kind of talking about a little bit about the situation with Chavo. I like this a lot. I like that Andrade's playing that heel that is confident and doesn't need to cheat to win, but he's just an arrogant jerk. Thought that was absolutely fantastic. I really want to see another Andrade versus Pac match. I think both of these guys are fantastic. I'm glad they're continuing this feud. Segment number 9, the next one, we had Anna Jay versus Penelope. This wasn't a good match. Sorry, Anna Jay and Penelope. I wasn't into this one at all. Bit of a sleeper for me. We have the ending. Penelope uses brass knuckles to win. After that, out comes HFO to beat down Jay and Conti. Cassidy out to face HFO after that. Then it's like, oh my god, Cassidy and Chris Stratland are only two going to fight all these guys? No way. Out comes the Dark Order. Love the Dark Order, obviously. But, that's another thing, too, that I like what AEW does, is the way that they're kind of able to cross teams and storylines together and kind of have them weave in and out of one another like this. I really like that. Reminds me of the Attitude Era, honestly, where someone always had something that they were doing. There was always a story for everything. I like that a lot here. We have Dark Order in the ring. They scare out the heels, but then Evil Uno kind of leaves the ring and is like, oh my god, what am I doing? I thought I was like no longer on the same page with the rest of the Dark Order. We see the Dark Order continue to kind of fizzle here and break apart. I don't think they're going to break them up. I think Bray Wyatt's going to come in and he's going to be the new leader of the Dark Order. I'd be pretty surprised if that wasn't going to be the case, but we'll see. They swerved us with Brody Lee being the original leader when we all thought it was going to be Matt Hardy. So we'll see. I like this Dark Order storyline. I like the long-form storytelling of it. Who knows? Maybe it'll be Hangman will come back and get them to all reunite again, because I do love Hangman on the Dark Order. I think that's a great pairing. The next segment here was the main event. We had Lance Archer and Suzuki, as Suzuki-gun, one of my favorite stables, versus Mox and Kingston in a lights out match. I was really excited for this one. Ultimately, it didn't really super do it for me. Unfortunately for me, and I think a lot of people, is AEW, as much as we love them, has kind of set an expectation now for these lights out matches to be super, super violent. This one wasn't. I don't even think we got any blood. But that's okay. It was what it needed to be. One thing that, I did notice was Suzuki. I love Minoru Suzuki. Don't get me wrong. He's one of my all-time favorites. I think he's amazing, especially when he's actually in Japan. But he seemed kind of out of his element here in this one. I don't know if it was because it was a no DQ match. I don't know if it was because it was such a big crowd, which wouldn't make sense to me, because Suzuki is great with the crowd typically. But he just kind of felt like he was out of place here. I don't know. Maybe he's getting up there, which I hope isn't the right thing to say, but yeah, just a weird note on that one. Early on in the match, we had dueling chairs between Mox and Suzuki. I love this. We've seen this in Japan. This was good stuff. Then we had dueling chops with Suzuki and Kingston. After that, that was obviously way more brutal than the chair stuff. These dudes were just slapping the crap out of each other. Suzuki had a super red chest by the end of it. Love it. Good stuff. Anytime two big dudes are just slapping each other, sign me up. I love it. At one point, we had Kingston go through a table that was propped up in the corner from a Suzuki kick. Thought this looked pretty good. I liked this. One of my favorite things that happened in the match is they had ring attendants sitting around the outside of the match, outside of the ring. These guys were obviously supposed to be playing the role of the young lions that we see in New Japan, which Minoru Suzuki always beats up, and Lance Archer always beats up. In this case, it was Lance Archer beating up the ring attendants. He beat them all up. He gathered them up. He pulled them in front of the ring, where he then got onto the apron and he chokeslams Mox from the apron into the Young Lions. I thought that was great. That was my favorite spot of the match. I thought it was super clever. I love the nod to the Suzuki-gun kind of classic Suzuki-gun thing of beating up the Young Lions at ringside. I love it when they do that. I always think it's hilarious. Especially when Lance Archer does it. That was good stuff. That was the highlight of the match for me. At one point, too, we had a brutal spot where we had Jon Moxley in kind of the hangman with a belt from Lance Archer to Moxley over the top rope, kind of dangling to the outside. We don't see that very much these days. It's a pretty violent spot. It looks pretty sick and pretty twisted, which I'm always down for. I thought this was great. I loved this. It was really, really refreshing to see that after not seeing it, so much in the past couple of years or decades. At some point, Mox got his hands duct taped together. Eddie comes in for help. He chops down Suzuki. Or he goes to chop down Suzuki. Suzuki is down. He goes to chop down Lance. Lance no-sells it. Lance no-sells it, and then Kingston gives a poke to the eyes to Lance. That was funny. That made me laugh. I got a pop from the crowd. At some point, Eddie is about to take Lance Archer's finisher. I don't think he calls it the Everybody Dies. He had the Everybody Dies claw in New Japan. I forget what he calls his finisher here in AEW. But anyway, he's about to take it as an avalanche off the top. And then boom, out comes Homicide, which was pretty cool. He got a huge pop from the crowd. We know that there's a lot of history between Homicide and Kingston, so that was cool. I don't know if Homicide's going to be in AEW now, but it was cool that they had him come out. Obviously, New York guy, so he got a big, huge pop. Homicide passes Eddie a trash can. Eddie puts that trash can over Lance Archer, and Eddie begins to absolutely wail on this trash can with a kendo stick. He was going at it. I mean, the thing looked like a Coke can that had been run over by traffic for the past 3 hours. That thing was just flattened on Archer. Goes for the pin, picks up the win. I thought it was a good match. I know I said earlier that I wish there was some more violence. There wasn't a ton of violence here, but there was a lot of creativity, especially with the whole Young Lions thing and that just folding in of the trash can. I thought that was pretty cool. Obviously, they don't want to put, Suzuki in too much harm. And we've had a lot of really violent matches in AEW with lots of blood and guts recently, so it makes sense that they've kind of toned it down for this week. But I hope we get more violence in the future. It's a weird thing to say, because I am like a total anti-violence person in real life, but in wrestling it's different. So as the camera probably shakes right now because Kenny is pushing on the tripods because he wants to play, I think that is a good point to wrap up this video. Consolidating all my thoughts on this episode, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good episode. Obviously, it was kind of hard at midnight to watch. I go to bed pretty early typically on a Friday night, but next week we're back to those 1 hour episodes, so I'll try and record a video after the episode of Rampage this coming week. In any case, again, I thought best match went to CM Punk and Powerhouse Hobbs. I loved everything about that match. I think spot of the night goes to the Young Bucks kissing Adam Cole, which I thought was really funny. And also the Young Lion thing was something that I liked a whole lot, being a big New Japan fan. But in any case, that's it for this episode of the AEW Rampage recap. I hope you all join me next week. I plan on putting out a couple of videos next week. Obviously, I'll do my normal... here goes Kenny knocking the tripod again. Obviously, I'll do my normal Dynamite recap and Rampage recap. And I'll probably do one of my kind of wrestling analysis videos as well. Check out the last one that I did. I'm really proud of it. That's the one about... are we entering a new wrestling boom? I'll post the link in here on that one. Go check it out. And thanks again for watching. Follow me on Instagram, Push to Talk 1. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.